Are you ready to listen to a podcast?
Here comes the Playhouse Podcast, thanks to Bradshaw and Bryan Law Offices.
Find, subscribe, and listen.
Apparently everyone has a friggin' problem. And they brought their problems to the Playhouse.
Yep.
This is the People's Court. Yes, I said People's Is so we don't get sued.
You know, being kind of selfish today, having a radio show and all.
Just today?
I have friends that will tell me things, and I draw inspiration for topics that we talk about from life. And sometimes they'll say something, and I'm like, please let me talk about it on the show. So I'm not going to say her name, but a very good friend of mine, very well off, lives in a pool community. And that's where you have a pool that is taken care of. And
it's part of your association piece.
Cleaned. It is. It's an amazing setup. And she's like, I feel like I can't even leave my house to walk to the pool anymore with what's going on with my neighbor two doors down. She'll get her kids ready and she'll start walking to the pool. And all of a sudden she'll hear like the window open. Hey, you guys go to the pool? And this mom who has kids that are around the same age as hers, they'll all load up their wagon. And they'll just be like running after my friend and her kids, like, wait up, wait up. And this woman is a stay-at-home mom, like my friend. And she's like, you know, sometimes I just want to lay out by myself. Or I just want to hang with my kids. If they happen to be there coincidentally, then that's one thing. But she's starting to feel like this woman is just sitting by the window waiting to see on a sunny day when my friend's going to leave her house. And I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I'm very bad at confrontation. I will just, I like to push it deep, deep, deep down where it belongs and never say anything to anybody.
So let me get this right. Your rich friend goes to the pool instead of working a job. And
she has a weekend job.
And is appalled and annoyed by somebody wanting to befriend her and her children. That's this world that she's living in right now.
That's what you took from the
The worst
story.
thing happening to her is that somebody would like her companionship at the rich-ass pool situation.
There was one instance that really rubbed her the wrong way, and that's where the woman yelled something at my friend's daughter. And she's like, she wasn't even doing anything wrong, but she was almost parenting her and called herself the second mom.
Oh!
Which was, I think, where the turning point was.
Fighting words.
When you're like, that's a little weird for you to say. So, do you have any advice for my friend? Kind of hard to get out of the situation because she is 2 yards away. So, do you take the roundabout? No, you can't even because she has a cul-de-sac
I
the other
have
way.
a lady on line 2 here. Her name is Trisha, not my wife. But she definitely is going through the kind of the same thing, and she's got some thoughts. I want yours, too.
Oh.
All right, so Kat has a friend named...
Don't even.
I'm not going to say it, but
anyway.
The worst thing happening in her life right now is that the other stay-at-home rich mom down the street wants to hang out with her at their pool. Oh, my God. Can you even?
It's not just every now and then. It's literally every time my friend leaves the house. It's very hard for me to not say her name. Every time she leaves the house, she has her kids. They walk to the neighborhood pool, and she'll walk 2 doors down, and it's like literally every single time. Never fails.
I think the imagery is funny of seeing somebody out there, second level window going, hey, you guys go to the pool? And then right away, there's somebody out the door with them.
The kids are all ready. They got their wagon, and they're just running after my friend and her kids like, wait up, we want to hang with you. And, you know, I get it. Sometimes you just want to lay out and tan and not have to have that conversation.
Oh, it's so exhausting having to talk to somebody.
Talking to people.
I love talking to people.
You put your earbuds in and you walk around so people think that you're busy.
I don't not talk to people. I just sometimes want to be in my zone. But if somebody wanted my companionship and friendship and just to lay around and watch our kids, I would never deny them of something like that.
Like, she doesn't want to hurt this woman's feelings. Like, I don't want to spend this much time with you. She just doesn't know how to say, I don't want to spend all this time with
Hey,
you.
Trisha, I appreciate your patience. How do you handle something like this?
Honestly, I totally relate because kind of similarly, this woman that I know started showing up and trying to get her kids to play with my kids all the time. She started coming over all the time. She even tracked my husband down at work.
Whoa.
No.
To ask him why I wasn't answering my phone.
That is serious, like, what is it, single white female?
Yeah, but it's like, but when you're stalking another mom, it's a different thing. You know what I mean? It's like she doesn't necessarily want their life. She just wants to glom onto what they're doing, you know?
Don't you agree, though, like, as a mom, that's one of the hardest relationships to make and continue on with is that of another mom that you meet, like, at the park, at the pool. Like, there's always that fine line. Are they cool? Are they weird? Do they swear too much?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I honestly just had to tell her eventually, like, look, I can't live like this. You know, we got to set some boundaries here.
So then you guys still live next to each other?
Yeah, we still live in the same place. And I will say, since we had that conversation, and it was a very awkward, difficult conversation, but since then, it has been a lot better.
So she should probably just bite the bullet.
Most people are afraid to have this conversation because it's confrontation. You know what I mean? Especially with somebody who's trying to be nice to you, but
and lives next to you.
It's a Band-Aid thing. You got to pull it off and run, right?
Totally. I really recommend just stepping up and talking about it.
Radio Paparazzi.
So Wendy Williams leaving TV behind, announcing that she is done with her show and she is going to do podcasting. And that's it.
Excuse me. I am 100% retired in the Wendy Williams show. And I don't want to be on TV except for guest hosting. Like I love Whoopi Goldberg. I love The View. You know, an hour, 2 hours, but I don't want to be in partnership, maybe, or maybe not.
She has no idea what she's doing.
No idea. But isn't that a good spot to be in?
People
endless
listen to the first couple of podcasts, maybe, but there's got to be something interesting to get me back.
I think she'll have guests on her show. Excuse me. Oh, my God. I'm dying. All right. Oh, speaking of dying, Chris Pratt, he is talking about being on death row. And you know how you get your final meal?
Right.
And he's like, I think I found a way to keep myself alive.
Assuming that once I'm done, I'll be executed, the famous last meal. I'm going to hack the system. I'm going to go all-you-can-eat buffet and eat forever. 5 years later, I've eaten pancakes, bacon, lots of breakfast food. I cycle through all the foods. It's all you can eat. Look at the fine print. You said it's my last meal on Earth. Can't execute me until I'm done eating. I'm not done eating. But lots of bacon.
I agree with that. All right, so Nick Cannon, he was asked, listen, what kind of woman would you be able to marry? Who would be able to capture your heart?
Yeah, so I think as I'm growing, I probably had a few midlife crises in my if I can ever find somebody that knows how to hold me down through all my madness, through all my chaos and toxicity, that's probably somebody I could rock with.
That sounds fun.
That does sound like a good time. Good rest of your life there to just constantly have to worry about
an adult for the rest of your life.
Holding someone down. Blowing out their candles today, a name I know well in my house. My son loves this guy. NBA baller Kawhi Leonard is 31. Colin Jost is 40. And Richard Lewis is 75.
Let's begin now.
And off we go with the big show. Kat, give me one good thing about yesterday, please.
One good thing about yesterday is I had a gig with 500 people.
I saw this.
And it's with ATS, Anderson Trucking Service. And they are one of, like, when it comes to culture, and you can tell when people are faking liking being at work.
I know a million people that work there, and they all love it.
Yes. Like, everyone is, like, so friendly to each other and, like, high-fiving and knuckling, and it was just, like...
It's a top-down thing, too. So I know the family, and it's definitely a top-down thing.
So that was just really fun. They opened their doors to everybody, including, like, it was, like, a company employee day, too. So it was a family-friendly event, grilled up almost 400 brats.
That's why everybody was so happy.
My forearm, Derek's had... like, literally hurts. It was on fire. You have
another excuse?
It was on fire. I can't, honey. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. Liam got word that he's starting pitching tonight. So
nice.
The starting pitcher. Yep. So he's going to practice this morning. He practices all the time. But yeah, he is part of the rotation now. So
he's going to turn 10.
Yeah.
So very interesting dispute amongst many, many baseball dads and families. I learned a curveball at 9. I taught my boys at 8 or 9.
Yeah.
Has he learned one yet? Does he throw it?
But he doesn't have the pitching bug. He just wants to try it.
Okay.
And he's good.
So
He has really great, I feel, accuracy.
Sure.
You know, he doesn't throw it at the ground.
And that's the most
or
important
pass.
thing.
So he's gonna do that, but his position is first. Like he loves it first, or even center because he gets to snag and run.
Sure.
So he likes that.
It's amazing how many conversations and arguments I've had with baseball dads, coaches, and everybody else about when to teach that son the curveball. Because if you don't learn it right, you will wreck your arm.
Yeah.
And if you learn it early, here's my thought: is your kids are going to learn it on the internet or from another friend, regardless. I just taught my boys how to throw it the right way first, and the same with me. I mean, I played for 50 years and I haven't had an arm problem. My old man showed me the right way and then the right time to throw it.
So I feel like it's shaving your legs. Like you want somebody that knows how to do it to teach you first before
That's a teach you thing?
Yeah, like maybe you want to teach yourself and dry shave right before you go to softball practice and your legs burn when you start to sweat. So maybe
Interesting.
That equation. Went to lunch with my boys at Joel's Bistro. They got a new menu down there. So I had some Brussels sprouts. They were delicious. And then got some Dairy Queen to cap off the night.
Right on.
They called me. They were like, can you go get some blizzards? I'm like, sure. So
of course.
Went and got some seasonal blizzards.
I mowed the lawn in the rain yesterday.
It rained yesterday?
Yeah. Oh, it didn't rain where you were?
It was beyond beautiful.
Poured for a little while.
No way.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I was like 10 minutes from you. How weird.
Yeah,
okay.
It started sprinkling. I was about a quarter of the way done. I'm like, I'm going to plow through this.
Yeah.
And there's something just
weird
dumb about mowing the lawn in the rain, man. I get it. Like some people have to do it because it's their job, but I could have easily just put the lawnmower in the garage and then finished today. Like, nah, I'm going to do this like a man.
I thought you weren't supposed to mow when the grass is wet.
Who said that?
Life.
Everyone
I need some
evidence of that.
Why do I feel like you'd get electrocuted if you were pushing? Like, my first thought was, thank God you're alive.
Gas powered. So.
A St. Cloud man has been sentenced to prison for letting 2 women use his apartment for prostitution. John Elrod pled guilty to 1 count of promoting prostitution. He was sentenced on Tuesday for more than 5 years in prison. 1 woman paid him $20 every single time she got to use his apartment. The other woman paid him in just cigarettes and chew. And now he's going away. For 5 years.
Hold on.
Worth it?
Yep,
No.
I'll step out for 30 minutes. Just don't forget the Copenhagen. That was the conversation.
I guess so. Some people just also like the attention from people.
How nice must that apartment have been, Kat?
Yeah, I'm sure. Quality. A former aide to Donald Trump's White House chief of staff, Mark Meadows, started to testify about the January 6th situation. Also, Cassidy Hutchinson, she was in the vehicle. She was there on many situations. And she also said that she found out about January 6th 4 days earlier from Rudy Giuliani himself.
And had thrown his lunch against the wall. There was ketchup dripping down the wall. And there's a shattered porcelain plate on the floor. The president reached up towards the front of the vehicle to grab at the steering wheel. Mr. Engel grabbed his arm. You need to take your hand off the steering wheel. We're going back to the West Wing. I'm the president. Take me up to the Capitol now. To which Bobby responded, sir, we have to go back to the West Wing. Please make sure we don't go up to the Capitol, Cassidy. We're going to get charged with every crime imaginable if we make that movement happen. There were discussions about him having another speech outside of the Capitol before going in. I know that there was a conversation about him going into the House chamber at one point. I didn't care that they have weapons. They're not here to hurt me. Take that mags away. Let my people in. They can march to the Capitol from here. Let the people in.
So there you go. I don't know why people don't realize that if you tell someone something and they have a conscience, they're going to sing like a canary. You will be outed at some point. Hundreds of Delta airline pilots are planning to protest tomorrow. So if you're planning on flying Delta, they want better pay, better scheduling, and certain protections. I agree with all of them. I mean, I want somebody that feels justified in their job flying me somewhere. I want them happy. I want them satisfied. Obviously, you can't have them ask for the world, but something to make them feel like what they're doing is worth it. The protest should not affect air travel before the holiday weekend.
Aren't they unionized?
I don't know.
Well, I guess I don't understand.
Pilots?
But if they're just Delta pilots, aren't Delta pilots unionized? Shouldn't their union leaders be doing this for them so that we don't have to have disrupted service?
I know.
Like, I'm trying to tell you, here's the democracy in this for me. I won't fly Delta then. I'll take my money elsewhere. If I've got to get to L.A., and you decide you're going to go, I know it'll be an inconvenience for me, but I'll tell you what, I'm going to remember the next time I got to book a flight, how you did me wrong and inconvenienced me, and I'll go somewhere else the next time.
But this is a long time coming. They worked through the pandemic. They had to work through.
I'm not saying they don't deserve it. I'm saying a stoppage in labor and a stoppage in an essential business like this should have been handled by their union reps a long time ago.
Before it got to this point.
Yeah,
I get what you're saying.
I just that disappoints me so bad.
So you know how I rave about my big butt underwear. I love it.
Day.
It's comfortable. I found ones that are seamless, so you can't see any panty line. But leave it to Balenciaga. So here is Kat for forever telling you how great big butt underwear granny panties are. But now Balenciaga is selling them for $225. You can see them on our socials, Snapchat, or on our Facebook story. They look fashionable on the model, of course. I'm more Bridget Jones's Diary body, so that's kind of how I look. But yeah, now they're back in style.
Keeping it real. That's what it's all about for ladies these days. And all the ladies lining up for granny panties. Yeah. G-string, you no longer a G thing. Whale tail, you can hit the beach. Brazilian, go on back home. It's time to pull the string out your crack, because real ladies of today are going old school, wearing granny panties. Yeah, because if it's big and round and full of pounds, ladies, we got your ass covered. Literally. Granny panties, wherever big booty underwear is sold.
I know we're past Father's Day here. All right? Yeah.
We already had Father's Day?
Yeah. Did you miss it?
Kidding. No.
What'd you get, Derek?
What did I? 2 trips to the gentleman's barber.
Oh,
where
like
they
he
use
gets the hot towel and the trim and everything like that. Does he ever? Have you guys ever had his head shaved by the barber?
Yeah, he had that close shave for the wedding that we went to
on his head.
Yeah,
I've often thought about that, but I'm a little scared.
Yeah, you know what I think is crazy is that they let prisoners do that, like the straight edge.
Oh, they got nothing to lose.
Yeah, their life.
Wow. Other than that,
wow.
The reason I'm asking is, what's the next big holiday that you give a card for? Are you giving cards for graduation and weddings and stuff over the season?
I have been, but I got a card for my baby who turns 10 in like 48 hours. I know
every day, guys, every day for the last month, she's wept because her son is going to turn 10.
Don't talk about it.
She doesn't talk about how fortunate she is, how much she loves her family, how great it is that 10 years ago she's in the hospital with a premature son and all the trials and tribulations, and now how he's just a healthy, excelling boy. She doesn't sit on any of that. All she sits on is the fact that he's going to be 10. She weeps because of it. And why 10? What's the big deal?
I don't know. It's like, I can't even, literally, I'm going to cry. You're the worst.
You are unhinged. You need to center yourself right now.
I am not the only mom that gets like,
I think you
double
are.
Digits. It's 10. It's a big deal. He's my only one. Oh, this is not.
You're like a freak.
What I wanted to happen. Why would you do this? You know how emotional I am.
I didn't even want to
this.
talk about this, but
yes,
I didn't. I wanted to talk about the reason I wanted to bring this up. And if you would decide you wanted to do Freak Fest 2022, that's fine.
Okay.
But I wanted to tell you, if you're one of these people who takes a lottery ticket and puts it in a card for somebody or as a Christmas gift in like the Christmas stockings or whatever, don't ease up on that. There's this really cool story out of Canada. A dad just he won the whole thing, the big lottery with the ticket. So his daughter got him a Father's Day gift and in the card wrote "set for life" and put a lottery ticket in it. He rubs it, hit the jackpot, $1,000 a week for the rest of his life.
Wow, that's amazing.
He took the lump sum, though. It's about $675,000 Canadian, over $500,000 American. But she just bought one scratcher, threw it in the card. I think I'm going to do this for every card that I give for the rest of my life. If it's a housewarming, if it's a baby shower, whatever the deal is, I think I'm throwing at least one scratcher in every time. I might just go buy like $500 worth of scratchers and have them. and then I just give them out. That's the greatest gift.
I really don't think so. Because
You'd rather have the dollar?
Plenty of scratch-offs. No, I would rather have you throw in $25 and a scratcher. Because odds are I'm not going to win anything.
This is fun.
If $1.
But what if you win the million? Like this dude is getting $1,000 every single week for the rest of his life.
That will never happen. The chances of that happening are like 1 in 200,000.
Why are you such a pessimist today?
Maybe I get a day.
It's like a bizarro world in here. Like I'm the optimist and you're the
switcheroo.
right. You're the one freaking out, and I'm sitting here just being calm, natural guy, trying to enhance people's lives. You're trying to crush them.
We've got email, we've got email.
All right, we got this email, and I am getting it in my inbox here from Tessa. And Tessa says, my wedding planning has turned into a disaster. I hate to read that first line because no bride should have to deal with that. My father wants to bring his girlfriend. She's 5 years older than me, but she's also responsible for the breakup of my parents' marriage. I told him that I didn't want her there. He said that he should be able to bring whoever he wants because he is paying for 90% of the wedding, and she is going to be a part of the family. So insinuating he's going to pop the question. I don't see it that way. Should he be allowed to bring her? One, Tessa, this is why you nowadays pay for your whole wedding. Because if you incorporate other people and their money, you incorporate their
Think
stay.
about this. You're hot out of a $50,000 a year college. You're $200,000 in debt. You probably have your first job. You're just chipping away at this. You're now going to get married. You ain't got no money to pay for this.
Then you wait for your wedding. Then you just wait. Because you can expect this stuff from anybody that allows other people to pay for your wedding. You have to expect opinions. You have to expect people's wants and needs to be honored, or else that's going to start feuds.
You got to bite the bullet here and let this girl be part of your day.
It won't be your day anymore. People will be focusing. They'll be whispering, oh my God, that's
He's
her.
paying
That's
for
the one."
90% of it. You got to let him have a say.
I don't know why he would want to put his girlfriend in that position anyway.
He wants to show her off. That's exactly. He wants to say,
wrong because
listen, she might have broke up the marriage, but I'm super happy now and I'm glad. That's
people
exactly
are going
what he's saying with
to
this.
have nothing but nasty things to say about her behind her back. So
Not if she's hot.
we don't know she's hot. And that's not even a factor. I don't know why I just played into that. That's not even a factor if somebody is attractive or not. And it's also not respectful to your mom who will be there. This is also her day. This is the parents' day in the sense that you should come together because your child is taking a whole huge, massive step in life. And you shouldn't try to take that away with the scandal.
So you're a no on the girlfriend?
I'm going to say no. I don't think that.
Yes.
And I don't think she would want to go. I feel like the girlfriend should say, you know what, I'm going to sit this one out. Here's a card from me. I'll send her a nice little message.
Yes or no, and how would you break this down? I want to get your thoughts on it. Let's go.
All right, so we got this message from Tessa, and she emailed us and said that, I lost it again. Oh, my wedding planning has turned into a disaster. My father wants to bring his girlfriend. She's 5 years older. Okay, she's the one that broke up her dad and her mom, which is not good. I told him I don't want her there. And he said that he should be able to bring who he wants because he is paying for 95% of the wedding. And now, we can expect her to become part of the family. I don't see it that way. Should he be allowed to bring her? I don't personally, morally, I don't think it's a good move. I don't think he should force her on anybody, knowing that there is still a past. And it's just going to make room for fodder and unnecessary comments instead of focusing on the bride and groom.
That guy's writing a fat check. You got to let him do almost anything he wants to do.
See, that's the problem. You let people pay.
Matthew said, totally agree. You should pay for your own. Have you put yourself in your dad's position, though? Maybe he's looking for acceptance from the family, and he feels by allowing him to bring his new muse, it's a step in the right direction for healing. Maybe, but if you're going to look for acceptance, I think you just kind of warm the waters first. Try Easter. Try a birthday barbecue. No, wedding's a good spot because people are going to have some cocktails and they're going to loosen up.
And say what they mean.
Maybe. JC says, I agree with Kat's. Their day, it's going to be filled with a bunch of drama and whispers. Maybe wait until you can afford your own wedding.
Yeah. Why take away from the real reason why you're there to celebrate love with one of the biggest scandals, I'm sure, that has happened in her family. So, Marsha, I'd love for you to call in.
Maybe everybody needs to get over this and just let her be there. I guess I don't understand why this would be about this side piece.
Well,
why isn't it about the people that get married?
Once you involve money and this guy's paying for most of it, if not almost all of it, he gets a say is what he feels like. And I want to know, like, has somebody paid for most of your wedding and they made some decisions that you weren't agreeable to?
I think between my parents and Trisha's parents, they paid for everything and we didn't. I mean, I think we paid for like a cake, maybe.
Yeah, but I think if you asked Trisha, maybe there were some opinions that she didn't completely agree with.
No, Trish did.
Quietly.
Maybe. I don't think so, though. I mean, my mom and dad just sat there. There was really nothing.
Yeah.
You know what? Now that you say it, I think there was one thing that set her off at the groom's dinner.
Yeah.
There was a cake with our picture, like our engagement picture on it.
Uh-huh.
But my mom had, because I was in radio at the time, had like headphones. And then like on the cake, it had like a pair of headphones with a little cord streaming down or whatever.
Yeah.
I think that secretly messed her up.
Really?
I think because Trish wasn't included on the groom, but it was the groom's dinner.
Yeah. But what would they have put on there to
I don't know.
Signify her?
Her picture was on the damn cake, but I think because it was the groom and I was the groom and there was a pair of headphones on there, I bet if I asked her now 23 years later, I bet she'd still be set off by that.
Yeah. I'd love to hear from 0397. That's a good point. Adam, you have a really good point. It takes two to tango. It's not just her fault. It's not just her fault. He's the one that strayed from his marriage.
Bottom line is, if you spend all the money on the wedding, can you bring your side piece? I say yes.
Radio Paparazzi.
Sam Asghari, though, we will start with him being married to Britney Spears. It is just like a dream. He loves it.
I have to wear this thing now. It's just surreal, man. It's been a minute. It was way overdue for us, and we imagined this thing being a fairy tale, and it was.
Why is he not Sam Spears?
Because he's the man. I don't think she'd want to do that. She's Britney Asghari now on paper. Did you know that?
I think he missed an opportunity. Sam Spears sounds so awesome.
It does. He's a great actor, by the way. Like, he's very underrated.
What's he in?
He's in, oh my God, what is it? Oh, Just a Secret. It's on Netflix, and it was streaming at #1. But he's just really good. He's trying out for all these different roles, so wish him luck. Selena Gomez, about to turn 30 next month. She's talking about aging. It's going well.
I have no idea what to expect. Getting older is weird, but I love it. And I'm finding out new things about myself. It's just, honestly, I enjoy getting older. So here's to 30.
Hang out with Steve Martin longer. You're going to love 70.
Yeah, you're always going to feel young when you're hanging with those two. Travis Barker, they just got married. He and Kourtney Kardashian. So in sickness and in health, sadly, they're dealing with the in sickness right now. Nobody has any clue why he was rushed to the hospital via ambulance to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, but scary stuff.
The Blink-182 drummer was taken by ambulance to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles on June 28th. Amid the health scare, the musician's 16-year-old daughter, Alabama Barker, asked for prayers on her Instagram story, though she did not provide additional details.
So how does something like this leak if they don't put something...
Photo. You sit at Cedars-Sinai as a paparazzi, you will catch a star going in to have a baby. That's where everyone goes for anything and everything in LA. And he also posted yesterday, God Save Me, but it's also the title of his new song with Machine Gun Kelly. So I would say it's referring to that, not so much like, I'm scared, God save me, but we'll see what's going on. But some people say it's kind of serious. Blowing out their candles today, we have Colin Jost from SNL turning 40. Nicole Scherzinger is 44, and Gary Busey, well, those big teeth, is 78. So this audio and people are being privy to a very selfless thing that George Michael did. But you got to have faith.
Yeah. What was he passed on in
2016?
All right, so 5-6 years ago.
Yeah, and he was watching this guy on Deal or No Deal, the show, who was trying to raise money for IVF for he and his partner to get pregnant. George Michael just donated them the money.
There was rumours saying that we might possibly, if it was a boy, name it George. But I do definitely think, we have definitely talked about it, and if this is a little boy, he's definitely going to have George as a middle name.
Oh.
We managed to get £3,000, and obviously we had an anonymous donor that gave us some money afterwards. Didn't realise at the time that it was George Michael.
Isn't that crazy? And he had already died, so they couldn't thank him or anything. But he had sent that couple money because he felt like anybody that had so much love to give a child that they should be given the opportunity to have one.
These are always amazing stories. Anytime you meet or talk to somebody who's gone through in vitro fertilization, they have an amazing story to go with it. And we wanted to dedicate some time today to this. If you've been through this, what's your story?
How much did it cost? How many rounds did you do?
I'm always fascinated by how long people are willing to stick with it and what they're willing to sacrifice to get there. And I look at it sometimes like God threw you a curveball, you fouled it off, and now you're going to get a fastball to hit deep. And I love these stories, so let's get to them. Found out that George Michael, before he passed, anonymously gave a bunch of money to a couple he saw on Deal or No Deal, right? The guy's on Deal or No Deal. He's trying to win the money for IVF treatments and in vitro fertilization treatments for his wife. George Michael sees it. He's like, I want to give these guys some money. I want to make sure they have a baby. And then after he passes on, I mean, 'cause he died in 2016, this couple finds out that it was George Michael that gave him the money. And are they pregnant now, or are they thinking it's going to happen right now?
It was a while ago.
Okay.
So now we're hearing about this story.
This kid's 4 or 5 years old.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And so they worked George into the name, finding out that he was the one that allowed them to become parents, which I think you gave a gift of life, which is something that you really can't repay.
And Brian, I know you guys went through this. How'd it go? What's the outcome?
We have an awesome 10-year-old and a 13-year-old that both came from IVF, and took 6 years to get through it. Sold the house in order to move into a rental so that we could afford a personal line of credit.
Did any of this get covered by your insurance at all?
None. Zero.
Wow.
How much do you think you put in? And I know you don't want to ever put a price on a life, but how much money do you think you spent on these treatments to round out your family?
No, we pretty much know. Between the two children, it was $35,000.
So total. Okay. I wonder how much it is to adopt or get a surrogate. Did you guys explore the surrogacy route?
Good question. Did you guys do that at all?
You know, it was on my end that made it difficult for us to have children.
Gotcha. Why do we always assume it's the woman that can't get pregnant versus
I know
the guy thing? I think that's the natural assumption. So, boy, I'm trying to figure out.
So then, how did you do that? I'm just wondering.
So how did we end up having children?
Yeah.
So, I mean, the way that it worked after, we both went through surgeries to try to lessen the cost because we didn't want to go into in vitro to begin with.
Yeah.
Endometriosis for her, there's little spots, went through surgery. I had a surgery down in the southern area as well that was absolutely horrible. I was out of work for 2 weeks because of it.
Oh, man.
And unfortunately, that doctor that I won't name, of course, names, but that's his quote-unquote specialty, so he always pushes that type of surgery because that's how he makes his money.
Yeah.
By the time I got to the in vitro doctor, because that was our last stance, he knew who that doctor was and said, unfortunately, you probably didn't even need that surgery.
Jeez. All right. So, hey, I appreciate you sharing with us. It's so interesting.
Can you imagine having that happen? And then they're like, yeah, you probably didn't need to do that.
The amount of desire and want to be a parent where you sell your house, you go through these painful surgeries is just tremendous. I mean, the human spirit is so cool. It's confession time in the Playhouse. One of my favorite Twitter pages is Fesshole. If you're not familiar with what a Fesshole is it's basically you have an anonymous confession and the only thing you're doing is getting it off your chest. You don't necessarily want to try and bury someone. You're just venting a little bit. So, as we concentrate on these following confessions, I have 5 of them, Kat.
Okay.
I would like you to rank the number 1 after you hear all of them. Which is the number 1? And also, if you're listening, I want you to text in which is, you, according to you, the numero uno Fesshole today.
Got it.
Number 1. I slept with a prostitute. When I arrived, she had her PlayStation on. we're still gaming friends.
So I'm guessing which one's the worst or the best?
This is your favorite. Okay. How about just that? Your favorite festhole confession.
Got it.
Number 2. I find it strongly comforting when I go to the toilet and take a seat, only to discover that it's still warm from the previous occupant.
Oh, gross. All right.
Number 3. Filling in a blood donor questionnaire once, I got denied because I admitted to having sex in Africa.
Okay.
I'd been visiting Kenya with my wife, so I didn't realize it meant the sex had to be with one of the locals.
Okay.
Number 4. Today we ran out of toilet paper in the downstairs toilet.
Oh my God.
Didn't realize until I'd dropped the kids off at the pool. Had to hobble into the kitchen with my pants around my knees and wipe my bum with a slice of bread.
Derek had to use his reserve underwear in his trunk yesterday. Have him tell you that story. It's too much.
And the last one. My wife caught me pooping in the shower. I don't think there's a way back. Out of those.
We did a whole topic about that one time where people were catching their poop and throwing it into the toilet from the shower.
No, he
what
pooped
the hell?
in the shower and then smushed it down the drain.
Obviously, you know which one.
Are you going with the pooping in the shower?
I got to do the smush poop. That's gross.
As you heard these 5 festhole confessions play out, which one do you believe is the absolute favorite amongst you? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Number 1, slept with a prostitute. We're still gaming friends. Number 2, I find it comforting when I go to the toilet and find it still warm from someone else. Number 3, got denied giving blood because they asked if I had sex in Africa and I said yes. Didn't realize it meant with one of the locals.
Okay.
Number 4, no toilet paper. Had to waddle into the kitchen and use a slice of bread. And then number 5, my wife caught me dumping in the shower, and I don't think I have a way back from this.
Can you even imagine catching Trisha smushing her poop down the drain of the shower?
I can imagine it.
You can?
Yeah, I got a good imagination. I can't think she would ever. I mean, our toilet is so close to the shower.
Right.
Like I would.
But just dry off.
I just can't imagine. I can't imagine being in a situation. Like, I feel blessed that we have 4 working bathrooms in our home.
Cool. Waffle stomping.
Wait, what?
That's what it's
There's
called.
an actual term for that?
Because the drain looks like a waffle.
So weird.
Weird stuff. Everybody called me weird. I am weird.
You don't think this is a little weird?
No, I don't think it's weird at all.
Weird news.
So, I think I've had this before. Hopefully you don't say that when you try this new vegan burger that allegedly tastes like human flesh.
I went into my kitchen and started to see how close I could come. Hey guys, it's just plant-based. There's nothing dangerous, but the thought, that's I think people are going to be uncomfortable with.
Oh, you think?
We see how much guts they have.
Oh, no.
Yuck. They call him the Duck. He's a chef, co-founder of the vegan burger that tastes like human flesh. Would you be able to?
No, there's zero desire to even do any of this.
No.
Like, I get it. Like, hey, let's get drunk and try Rocky Mountain oysters. Or, hey, I bet you can't snort sriracha. Like, I get all of that because I was in college once.
Yeah.
But nowhere along the line have I ever been like, let's see if this tastes like Jim.
Anybody curious as to what's in his house? Like maybe we'll
That guy
find
skins
someone.
people for sure.
That is what's weird. I can't wait.
And I want to determine whether or not you deserve the week of 4th of July off, Kat.
Oh,
Do you
okay.
know? It's not about how hard you're working right now, but how much do you love our motherland, America? New poll found that most of us are pretty stupid when it comes to American things.
Okay.
Kat, who was our first president?
George Washington.
Sadly enough, 1 in 8 people did not know that.
No.
Kat, what did the Declaration of Independence do?
It set us apart from the
Oh my
other.
God.
You only know because you have the answer in front of you, so it's not
I
even
was a
fair.
history major. Trust me on this.
Look how far that got
we
you.
declared our independence from Great Britain.
That's what I literally said. It set us apart from.
So
Great
far,
Britain.
I take one vacation day away next week. You have to come
can't
to
do that.
You have to come to work one day
Someone's
next week.
pulling rank. All right.
What age can you vote for president?
You can vote at the age of 18.
Only 20% of Americans got that question wrong.
What'd they say, 16?
A lot of people thought it was 21.
Oh.
What are the rights to everyone living in the U.S.? You know, we have the rights to what?
We have the right to vote.
Yep.
We have the right to free speech. We have the right to bear arms, currently, right? We have the right to...
The main ones the Declaration of Independence refer to is speech and religion.
Okay.
When this survey was taken, several people said that they have the right to disobey traffic laws. I'm going to give you the
Stop signs are optional.
That's
most importantly, was that Faith Hill?
Yeah.
That was incredible.
Yeah, don't you remember that one?
No, I don't.
That was Super Bowl a few years back.
Was it?
Yeah.
Good for her.
Can you please stop bugging me? Please stop bugging me. Please stop bugging me again. I like that. Come on. Please stop bugging me. Please stop.
I sing this to you maybe daily. Please stop bugging me. Please stop bugging
I have this.
I love that.
Unfortunate thing that goes on in my brain that when I realize something is really bugging someone, I do it more.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. And
pick,
I didn't get it from either of my parents because they weren't this vicious. It just makes me happy to see you in pain.
Like your sister's got a little bit of it too.
Yeah,
You guys got a little sprinkle of
There's
it.
a little trickle down.
Why?
I don't
Why
know.
though? Like, do you ever think about don't you have other stuff to do than bug people?
I genuinely, for a long, long time, I've just been a student of human moves, and I appreciate reactions, and I appreciate how different people react to different situations.
Ugh.
And I think that if you didn't show how much it instantly bugged you, I wouldn't pursue.
I don't anymore.
Yeah, you do.
No,
your face tells it all.
Really?
When you get, there, right there.
This
That's
one?
it. That's the one.
This is the one where, no, I feel like this is a steel face where you can't penetrate your negativity and the way you bug me.
Here's the best
Water
part,
off a duck's
is
back.
sometimes I'll walk out of the studio, and as I'm taking the last step, as the door is closing, I'll hear, and then I'm like, I got her. I got her so good.
You're so messed up. Who's bugging you today? I feel like you
How about
could
you?
probably...
Why don't you start then? Why don't you give us a start? Who's bugging you right now?
Who's bugging me today?
I'll tell you who's bugging. Can I start then maybe, since you're thinking about it?
I know. I feel like I know who's bugging you.
Who?
The person that can't give you the
No,
answer
that's not bugging me. That's just a pain in the
sounded
ass.
like it was
There's a big difference. Bugging me is this continual bugging because you could do better, but you choose the easy, lazy route, and it impacts my well-being.
Okay. But that is bugging you.
So we have several radio stations in this building. One of our radio stations targets an older demographic that listens to, I don't know, maybe news talk. And in the morning, the guy on the news talk station previews his audio for his show. If the volume meter goes to 10, he's at a 73 because of deafness, all right? It is so loud coming out of his office that I can't prepare our show from my office.
Yeah.
It's so deafening loud. And it bugs me for the 15 or 20 minutes. I breathe, and I don't really say anything because I know it's going to send him into a complete spiral. He's going to have a breakdown, and then that's my fault because I didn't want to listen to all of his stuff, where when I listen to my stuff, it's at a low volume. It's very respectful. Yep. And then the other people in the building that have to yell from office to office instead of just going to that other person's office, that bugs me.
I know.
I'm not looking for quiet and serenity. I understand. I live and work in an environment where audio is everything. But imagine if you're down here in the studio and I'm in my office and we communicate by yelling, how annoying that would be.
I've done that.
You do it. Hey, podcast ready?
Yeah.
That's one thing. I'm talking 20-minute conversations from office to office is incredibly disgustingly annoying.
You look bothered.
I'm not. Yeah, you're right. It bothers me.
You got to have that audio. This audio.
Can you please stop fucking me? Please
That's
stop.
it? Should I just start playing this on loop?
I truly think so.
I like that. Come on. Please stop bugging me. Please stop.
So who's bugging you?
I would say on a daily, Liam bugs me about food. And it's like every meal you put in front of him, he asks what the next meal is going to be.
He's looking past his nose.
But if your answer isn't Chipotle, then it's merciless.
Well, do you
questions.
sometimes say Chipotle just to appease him and then pull the old bait and switch? Yeah, like you
no,
don't tell him
I'm
until
not
the
a
next
devil.
day.
That would be horrible. The kid lives for a Chipotle burrito.
How often do you go?
Maybe once every week and a half or
right.
so.
Did you make
I
it
don't
like
get
a
it too
reward?
often. No, I just do it. Like, I like to surprise him, like come home and I'll have his burrito for him. And it's the same thing every time. And then he does this really weird thing where he'll grab it and then he'll feel for where the cold sour cream is. And that's got to hit the roof of his mouth. It is really weird. He's done that since he was like 3 years old.
Let it sit in a second.
There is more to life than what's your lip. So take a chance and face the wind. An open road and a road that's hit. Brand new life around the bend. There were times lost a dream or two. Found a train. And at the end was you.
I loved this show. Who's the best? Great news today.
The rumor mill has been spinning for a while that they were going to try and do a reboot of Who's the Boss, and now they've made it official.
Yeah, 30 years later, Tony's coming back and Alyssa Milano. I don't know if is it Danny Pintero, the brother.
Jonathan.
Mona died, and
Judith Light is still alive, correct?
yeah, she's on episodes of Law and Order SVU. I'm not sure why she hasn't confirmed.
So here's the premise of the show: is Alyssa Milano's character Sam is a single mother living back in the house that she grew up in
with him.
Yes,
with Tony.
right.
Yeah. So,
and by the way, Tony Danza, other than being completely grayed out, has aged tremendously. Now you got to remember
that's his Italian blood, though. Italians, they age gracefully.
He's an athlete. He was a boxer before he was an actor, like a world-class boxer. And they even put part of that into his character on Who's the Boss. But so Tony Danza got that job after Taxi, where he was a boxer.
Okay.
And he's aged incredibly well. He's got that Ralph Macchio kind of thing going on.
Yeah, he's pretty smoking hot.
And Alyssa Milano is going to be a single mom, so they'll introduce a new kid or kids that she is raising in the house that she grew up in. Now, where are we going to be able to find this? Though this is like streaming only, right?
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be
What is
like
it? Amazon.
Is it Amazon?
Mm-hmm. What's Amazon Freebie?
So that's
What is
their.
that?
You can get it if you're not a Prime member. It's their like free service. Yeah,
Those people. I am a Prime.
You're wicked.
now.
You're so wicked. But yes, if you're a big fan of Who's the Boss, it's coming back, guys.
I don't want to say drama or that we're beefing with anybody because we're not. These two seem like the sweetest people. I have not had a chance to like dive into a hardcore conversation with them because they currently live in South Dakota.
But they're moving to your hood.
Little by little, moving things there until they can close up their company there and move it here.
Sounds suspect, like maybe they're drug dealers.
They're not. They have 4 young kids under 6.
For
and,
sure, drug dealers.
His name is Christian, and he will come every once in a while, like every 2 weeks, and mow the lawn, but he will take it down to the shortest. So then,
so he doesn't have to mow it every week.
And he, mowed on our side. You know how...
Oh, my God. This is the beef you're talking about?
Part of it, because Derek's like, they have crabgrass, and the crabgrass is going to get on our nice grass. And there is a definitive line between our grass and their grass. It's terrible. But what he did was he mowed on our side of the electric box, and he took off the head of our sprinkler.
Oh.
So it was like sticking up a little bit, and because his blade was so short, clipped it right off. So now every time the sprinklers go off, it's
just
like
sprays up in the air.
Sprays up at their house. It hits their house. And so Derek wrote a note, put it in the mailbox, And he goes and he sees that Christian is home this past weekend. He goes, hey, I just want to let you know, did you get my note? And Christian goes, there were a lot of notes in that mailbox. So other people, I don't know if he was doing it on the other side of the house or whatever it was. But Derek's like, I just want to let you know, just in case in the middle of the night, when my sprinklers go off or at 7 a.m., it's going to hit the side of your house and I don't want it to scare you. And he's like, I am so sorry.
Well, you want retribution, right? He broke your sprinkler. You wanted the sprinklers are what, $15? It's not that big of a deal, but you still want somebody else to pay for it, correct?
No, I don't think we're looking for anybody to pay for it, but I mean, not a good start. I know Derek was like not excited about having that conversation with.
Wait, you think this is bad? Wait. Till those 4 little kids move in next door and watch your husband have an aneurysm.
I know. Well, I'm very worried. Oh, my old neighbor Dina is texting. Hi, Dina. It's her house that he's moving into. You would have never taken off our sprinkler head. But I'm worried that the kids under 6 are going to hop on our trampoline when we're not at home.
Of course they are. That's
and
what kids do.
Somebody's going to get hurt.
It's on you then. Your insurance has to cover that.
I know. We have it worked into our insurance.
You got to put electrical fencing around it. You can charge that, I know.
Put electrical fencing around her.
Why not?
Because it'll shock a little kid.
Kids should be treated like cattle. They get one little shock, they'll stay away.
You are demented.
No,
when you say stuff like that.
It works really well.
Anyway, what is the last conversation you had to have with a neighbor? Maybe it was somebody that was walking around naked all the time and you have teenage girls.
Oh.
But they're in their house, behind their window. Maybe their shades weren't drawn.
We've been in our place 6 years now, maybe 7 years. And the very first summer that we were in our place, I pulled off, looking back on it, might have been a jerk move. But I kind of wanted to just say, hey, we're here. Adjust. Yeah. And I did something that I had 3 of my neighbors actually talk to me about. And it's still there, and I haven't buckled. Now, I'll tell you what that is, right. And I want to take your calls, too, all right? What was the neighbor beef you had? Welcome into the Playhouse, where there is drama. Kat and Derek's new neighbors, who aren't even officially all the way moved in, have already wrecked some of their property, and they're not responding to the note and refusing to give retribution. The police have been called. We are now...
You are ridiculous.
What if you take them to small claims court for your sprinkler head?
I will absolutely not do that.
A great start to a long-lasting relationship.
They seem like a very nice couple. People make mistakes. He didn't know we had underground irrigation. What are you going to do? But he did go in the lowest setting of his
sprinkler
blade.
Heads don't pop out of the ground, by the way. They're just halfway up.
I don't know. I don't do anything with the lawn. It's not my business. I've been told multiple times not even to look at the lawnmower. It's not my problem.
Look at my grass.
Don't look at my grass. Don't walk on it. Don't do anything on it. So that's Derek's territory. So when he saw that our new neighbor, Christian, who comes home every once in a while to mow the lawn, doesn't even live there yet, will take it all the way down so that it doesn't grow as fast, I guess.
People obviously didn't do their homework knowing that they had to move in next to you guys either.
He said that he has never had a yard before, that they've always lived in like a condo.
Toasted.
And so, I mean, now he knows. All you have to have is one conversation, hopefully. And Derek walked the line with him. He made him walk with him. Walk the property line. He says, "This is our tree. Okay, they planted it on our property, so you just got to stay to the right. Just stay to the right." And
he walked him down the property line.
Yeah, and then Christian's like, "I am so sorry. I'm so sorry, Derek. I'll never do it again." So I was like, there you go. You got the conversation out there. He knows. You got to set those lines, those boundaries.
We moved into our house in February, about 7 years ago. And when the spring broke, we're at the end of the cul-de-sac and take the boys outside and we're playing baseball. And my oldest son, Peyton, is pitching. And I'd always bring like that floppy home plate out, right? And I'd catch him.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, well, I feel like we're going to do this for years and years and years. So I just went out there with a can of white spray paint and painted a home plate on the street where we play catch.
You can't do that.
I didn't think much of it
property.
At the time. Wow. City didn't seem to have a problem with it.
Do they know about it?
Oh, they run the street sweeper and they plow over there and everything. I mean, whatever. Well, what are they going to... Listen, by the way, my hood. You don't like it?
Your hood.
Get the hell out. But I did have 3 of my neighbors walk over and give me an interesting conversation of, oh, so you just whipped out the spray paint, huh? And I said, listen, I can't be dragging that home plate in and out of the garage every time we want to throw the ball over here. So I figured I'd just paint it. And my one neighbor goes, it's an interesting way of looking at it, which clearly meant you're a jerk. I can't believe you're defacing our
definitely meant that.
But it's still there. So I have to give a shout out to the people at Rust-Oleum Paint for making not only paint that is great on metal and wood, but it works
on asphalt.
Yeah, and it works real well. That's 7 years worth of a whole bunch of weathering.
You need to go give them a Google review. That's what you need to do.
Well,
Yelp them out.
I wrecked my neighborhood using your product, but the uncomfortable conversations, or maybe it was just an uncomfortable situation that you had, I'd love to hear yours. And Katie, yours didn't necessarily end with a conversation, but it was a neighbor deal?
My neighbor had access to my Netflix account because I felt bad because her daughter didn't have anything to watch. And I let her have it, and then my daughter and her stopped being friends, and I kind of forgot that she had it, and I was like, she still had my password. She had it for a long time because I just forgot about it. And then I ended up going in and changing everything because I didn't want her to have it.
Thank you.
And then there's that awkward moment when they try to log in and they're like, why isn't this working?
Do you ever think about if you changed all your passwords on your streaming today, how many fewer people would be streaming?
I don't know if you know my situation.
I do know your situation, that you don't pay for any of them. And
I have Netflix, HBO Max, Hulu, Disney Plus.
You don't pay for a one.
People love me. I have great family members that have added me on.
It's your reason the rest of us are all paying more. It's because of you. We're paying more for Netflix.
One day. I'll start paying for it one day. You know what I do enjoy? I enjoy Roku. I do. And we pay for our Roku.
You paid for the stick.
Well, we paid for the stick, yeah.
All the streaming services.
And we pay for our internet.
You're still stealing all the services, right?
If we're gonna, I guess if we're gonna break it down, and you're gonna nitpick, then yes. But see, I'm a nice person. I put nice into the world, so I get things back. It's called karma. I get my streaming services.
Most people are probably stealing one or two, but our friend here, Kat, is stealing 4 streaming services.
You literally got cable for free for a decade and didn't say anything about it.
What am I supposed to say? Come
You're
get your free
supposed to be
cable?
honest. Listen, I think
wasn't
there's
dishonest.
a mistake.
I just forgot to call.
Oh, well, I forgot to remind my relatives.
Anybody else stealing a minimum of 4 streaming services? Here's what I want. Please call. Don't give me your name. I just want to know what you're stealing. Because Kat's looking for a little bit of hey, I don't want to feel so bad about this.
I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad at all.
It's time for Playhouse Island. This is the game where you can literally do nothing and win. But first, the objective is to find a president of Playhouse Island. As we do that, remember that none of our contestants know which phone line they're on. I'm the only one that holds this information. So, Kat, in random order, I'm going to introduce you to our contestants.
Okay.
You get to know them a little bit, and then you will nominate our very first president of Playhouse Island.
Perfect.
Why don't you say good morning to Shayla?
Hey, Shayla.
Hi.
Hi, is this my kid's babysitter, Shayla?
Sure is.
Oh, I knew it. Did you get the job? Were you trying to get that job?
No.
Oh, their loss. All right.
Wait, open up some old wounds, Kat.
Sorry.
Good job.
She'll get one. She'll get a job. All right. So the question is, to get to know you a little bit better, how would you describe your character for people?
I don't know. I think I'm just a super over-the-top annoying person.
Really? I feel like you're really quiet, but we'll put annoying down.
She laughed at that. All right.
Someone giggled at that.
That's
all right.
Shayla. We would also like to welcome to the show Chris. Hi, Chris. How are you?
Doing well today.
Kat's got one question to get you a little bit closer to becoming president of Playhouse Island. We just want to get to know you. What's your question, Kat?
Who's a friend of yours that you would consider like family?
I would say Ryan.
Ryan.
Have you ever seen him naked?
Underwear?
Okay.
Not fully naked, though.
All right.
Someday.
Now we know Chris a little bit more. Also, please welcome to the show, Kaylee. Hi, Kaylee.
Good morning.
Hey. All right. So the question for you is, what is the last thing you did to volunteer for something?
Oh.
I actually just recently volunteered at the animal shelter and helped them clean up as they were short-staffed.
Oh, that's
I like
really
that.
nice of you.
How many animals of your own do you have?
Of my own. I don't have any.
Oh, all right. I like this. And this wasn't community service. This wasn't forced. You did this on your own.
Correct.
All right, all right. It's Kaylee. And finally, let's say hi to Levi.
Hey, Levi.
Hi.
Did you know I was Levi Strauss in the community play in Champlin? I was Levi Strauss in the Levi Strauss story.
He's real Levi.
Really?
It was a musical. I had to sing. It was pretty cool. All right, so the question for you is, how could someone lose your trust? Like, what would they have to do to lose your trust?
Oh, a cheater.
To cheat on you. Yeah, that's a big one.
That's Levi, everybody. All right.
Don't cheat on Levi. All right.
Now, we've met Shayla, we've met Chris, we've met Kaylee and Levi. I'm the only one that knows who's on what line. Now that you've got to know them a little bit, and even though you knew Shayla before we even got to the show, who do you want to nominate for president?
I'm going to be honest. It's going to be awkward if I see her around the neighborhood, so I'm going to say Shayla.
Okay. Shayla, you are, congratulations. You are the first of this round president of Playhouse Island. Congratulations.
Here we go.
Now,
thank you.
The work is just about to start, and what you're going to do now is select a phone line, 1, 2, 3, or 4. After you select that, I will kick that person off the show. Now, you don't know what line you're on, so I hope you don't say goodbye to yourself, but who's got to go first?
I'm going to say number 3.
Number 3 must go. Therefore, we say goodbye to... Shayla.
No,
You voted yourself off. You're on line 3, and now you got to get up out of here.
That's not my fault, girl.
Now, you must nominate a new president of Playhouse Island, Kat. Will it be Kaylee? Will it be Chris? Will it be Levi?
Let's go with a boy. Let's go with Levi.
Levi. Hey, congratulations, Levi. You're now the decision maker amongst all of us here in the Playhouse, and you must jettison a phone line. 1, 2, and 4 are still active. Who's got to go?
Number 1.
Number 1 must go. Therefore, we say goodbye to... Levi!
No way!
Yeah, you voted yourself off, man. I'm sorry, but you gotta go. Lines 2 and 4 still remain in this fantastic, awkward contest today, Kat. Again, the contestants are Kaylee and Chris. Who is your next president of Playhouse Island?
I'm going to have to say Miss Selfless Kaylee.
Kaylee, congratulations. You being such a selfless volunteer, you've now earned the honor of either throwing yourself to the Sharks or Chris. Line 2 and line 4 still remain. Pick one to kick off Playhouse Island.
This is hard. Let's do number 4.
Line 4 must go. Therefore, we say goodbye to... Kaylee!
No way!
Yes!
Oh, no.
Every single human has voted themselves off.
This has not happened in a long
Kaylee,
time.
you gotta go. And that means, Chris, congratulations. You're the winner today.
Perfect example, Chris.
Thank you very much.
Of just sitting there doing nothing, and you're a winner.
Heck yes.
Is this the kind of life you live where you just watch everybody else self-implode and you take all the benefits from it?
I might have to try this. It's working out today.
What do you got going on right now, man?
Just from work. I'm trying to get stuff done at work and get ready for the long weekend.
Well, the best way to get stuff done at work is to spend about 4 or 5 minutes on with the radio.
Feeling cute. Might sit on hold for 5 minutes.
Sit on hold and put a bunch of stuff.
Let's start with some good news.
I've got good news and good news.
Tell them the good news.
Good news?
Good news.
Okay.
Let's hear it.
All right, so on June 17th, the 8-year-old Joe went missing from his home in northeast Germany. A massive search went out for this boy, came up empty. 8 days later, after going missing, a passerby reported hearing a soft whimper from this manhole. This kid had been in the manhole for 8 days.
Oh.
How crazy is that? Rescuers found Joe at the bottom of the sewer drain. He had been sitting there. He had hypothermia, no major injuries, which is amazing. His family reportedly saying he's doing well. Can you even believe it? You fall down there and your cries start to turn into a whimper. You think nobody's going to come find you.
Can you imagine spending a week in a sewer drain?
No, I cannot.
What?
Put this kid on. Hey, they should do a Naked and Afraid children's version.
Nope.
I wonder if they could handle it.
I don't think so.
I feel like they could. We should try it.
What did he eat?
I don't even want to know what he ate in the sewer. And that is what's good.
The Playhouse podcast is made possible thanks to Bradshaw and Bryan Law Offices. Catch the live show weekdays from 5:30 to 9 on 104.7 KCLD. Now, share this with a friend.